Have you ever heard of Asclepius? My name is Dr. Bill Payne. I'm the pastor of First Methodist Church in Live Oak, Florida. Most likely you have. If you've ever gone to the doctor's office and looked at the symbol, it is a rod with two snakes on it. That is the rod of Asclepius, and that is his symbol. The python is associated with that. In ancient Greek mythology, Asclepius was the mortal son of Apollo, who was known as a healing god. And he became such a great healer that he was, with the help of Athena, that he was able to bring people back to health and even back from the dead. And because of that, the other gods were getting angry and they complained, and Hades was complaining because he was stealing people from, well, from hell. And so Zeus struck Asclepius down with a lightning bolt and killed him. Well, Apollo was so upset that he went and began to kill the Cyclope who had made the lightning bolt. And because of that, Zeus punished Apollo by making him live as a mortal for 1 year, serving a king. But in the end, because of all this, Asclepius was deified. He was made a god and everything was good, and he became the god of healing. Well, it's an interesting story because it intersects something that's happening in the Bible. And I want to talk about John 5. In John 5, Jesus went up to Jerusalem and he went to a place with a gate and a pool. There were two pools, and it was called Bethsaida. And we've all heard of Bethsaida. In DC, there's a Navy hospital called Bethsaida, and it was a place that people went for healing. By the time of Jesus, it was most likely one of these healing centers. And the way it would work is people would go and they would go through a ceremonial cleansing. They may take something to hallucinate, and they would sleep around the pool all night, waiting to have a vision or something else to let them know that they were being healed. And oftentimes the water was stirred, probably from a divine being, as the myth would say, and whoever got into the water would be healed instantaneously. So if you were sick, paralyzed, lame, blind, this kind of a place was a place that you would hang out. Jesus, of course, is a greater healer than Apollo, Asclepius, or anybody else. And as the God who heals, Jesus goes to this place and he sees it full of all these people. And he has to make a decision. What am I going to do? Am I going to heal everybody? Or am I going to heal somebody? Well, in John, Jesus heals, and those healings become signs. They point to something beyond themselves. It's not that Jesus can't heal everybody, but Jesus is going to heal the person that he's going to use to make a point. And so he finds a person who has been lame for 38 years. Most people think that the text says he's been laying there for 38 years. Nope. He comes and he lays there and he goes home and he comes back. He's hanging out a lot and he can't heal himself. And his life is defined by his illness. And so Jesus sees him and it's compassion, but it's also, I'm going to make a point to Jerusalem and to the world about who I am. And he goes up to the person and he says, do you want to be healed? Now, this is a straightforward question. Jesus, the God who heals, is standing in front of you and you are lame and he's offering you healing instead of saying, yes, I want to be healed. That's what a person should say who knows who Jesus is. But this man begins to make excuses. Well, I'm lame, and when the water's stirred, I can't get to it because I don't have anyone to carry me there. And woe is me, I can't do anything about myself. And he's thinking maybe this guy is having a conversation with me. Of course, I want to be healed. Why else am I here? But what he didn't realize was Jesus was not asking him about why he wasn't healed or about all the excuses associated with that. Jesus was asking him directly, do you want to be healed? Just like the lady before this in the chapter, um, who was talking to Jesus about water, and Jesus asked her if she wanted the living water, and she didn't answer appropriately. And so Jesus says, I'm tired of listening to all your excuses. Whoever stirs the water, the person who picks you up and carries you to the water, how long you've been sitting here, your deficiencies that you can't lift yourself up, and all of these things, all of those are immaterial to what I'm doing. I'm simply wanting to heal you. And so, without any other ado, Jesus says, get up, stop making excuses, pick up your pallet, and walk. And it was a Sabbath, and that was the bigger point. But nonetheless, Jesus healed the man instantaneously. And after 38 years of being crippled, the man was able to walk. Well, there's a tie in to our lives, isn't there? Many of us have issues that we deal with, and these issues become dominant focuses, foci in our lives, and we begin to let them control us. They dominate us. We think in terms of our victimization. We think in terms of our limits. We think in terms of the problems that we have throughout our lives. And that is a focus that keeps us tied to the situation that has bondage. But what we should be thinking about is Jesus, the one who frees us from our burdens, the one who came to set us free. And I want you to think about this today. What would it mean for you if Jesus stood in front of you and said, do you want to be healed? Do you want to be saved? Do you want to be forgiven? Do you want to be delivered from your demons? Do you want to be set free from this or that? Do you want a new life? Do you want your children to walk with God? What is it that you want? And instead of focusing on what you don't have, you come to Jesus in faith and you say to him, this is what I want. And then you step back and let Jesus do it for you. That's what I want to encourage you to do. Let Jesus do for you what you can't do for yourself, and he will. You know, Jesus went to this place that was dominated by Greek mythology and foreign gods, even though it was in Jerusalem. And he showed everybody there that he was a better healer than all the pagan gods. Yeah, he is. He can heal you too. God bless you.